Hey guys, elemental well builds are becoming more and more popular in Destiny 2 due to the fact that we have more useful mods coming out in Season 15. Today, we are going to take a look at the elemental well system. I'm going to show you where to find some of the best mods, and finally, I will show you a build that incorporates some of the more useful mods of the elemental well system, which can be used for any activity in the game. So let's do it. My name is Weds and thanks for tuning into the channel. I hope you keep coming back, and if you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will be forever grateful. First thing first, elemental well builds are not really new. I have made a build about elemental well in the past when they were first introduced around season 13. I believe that was the season they were introduced, but it's been a while since then. Back then, you didn't have as many mods available as we have today, and the war mine builds were very popular, so nobody would care too much about elemental well builds. Basically, in season 13, people didn't care. In season 14, people say whatever. But nowadays, starting in season 15, with the nerf of war mine cells, elemental well builds are starting to gain some grounds in Destiny 2. So, it's time for you to get into the action. In any case, if you don't know where to find the elemental well mods, well, let me show you where to start. Head to the helm and let's visit the area where they were first introduced in season 13. Alright, you land in the helm. This is where things were first introduced. As you can see, they sell the mods here. This is where things first started. So they rotate every week. They sell 2 every week. You just can come here and then just purchase the mods for mod components. And then eventually you will get all the ones that were available for season 13. The next area . Season of the Splicer. Bungie started selling more of those. Basically, you come here and then you buy them. They're available on a rotation as well. So it depends on where you are during that season, that particular season, then you should be good to go. Now to the next area. Alright, this is for season 15. So you get them on a weekly basis and based on your reputation. As you can see up here, based on your reputation, you'll be able to buy certain mods, but eventually you will have all of them available for you to buy. Now, the most important mods this season, as far as I can tell right now, is this one right here, especially when it comes to elemental wells. This mod changes everything. So basically what this mod does, it says elemental well mods that cause you to spawn elemental wells can now stack spawning additional wells for each additional copy of the mod you have equipped. So having said all that, let me show you the build that I was talking about that I want to show you. Now, as a caveat, I know you might have seen on YouTube where people are making elemental well rain everywhere. This is not that build, but what I'm going to show you is basically what you can do to get started, and this is going to be dependent upon your playstyle and what you are trying to do. But what I'm showing you is good to go for any content in the game. So let's go show you. Alright, for me personally, I am running a Solar Titan, but it's whatever you want to do. And I'm running Bottom Tree Titan because there's a lot of benefit to using this subclass. And as far as weapons are concerned, it's whatever you want to use, and just use them based on what activity that you are doing. But I would suggest you use weapons that can make explosive, like this one. But it doesn't matter really. Now let's look at the mod and I can show you how this works. Alright, for my helmet, I am using the melee well maker. It says powered melee combatant final blows spawn elemental wells matching your subclass energy. What we're trying to do here is trying to get our super as fast as possible, and we're trying to create as many elemental well as possible. So this is going to be synergizing with what we're trying to do. So I'm using this mod, and then I'm also using hands-on. This is a very good mod. Again, bonus super energy on melee kills. And then as far as weapon is, again, it's basically what you're trying to do and everything else that comes with the build. And this is the mod I was talking about earlier, Bountiful Wells. I already told you what it does. Basically, when you use this one, you can make more wells using this and multiple copies of whatever mod that you are trying to use. And again, for any gauntlet that you are using, if you're gonna do activity that require you to deal with champions, you got to make sure you use the appropriate mods coming from the seasonal artifact. And this one also coming from the seasonal artifact. You don't have to use this, but it is a very good mod for what we're trying to do. Say defeating a combatant with solar or stasis melee, create an orb of power. So it synergizes very well with what we're trying to do in this build. But if you are going to deal with champion, you got to make sure you use the mods accordingly. That way you can deal with the champions regardless of what you're trying to do. Now, with elemental build, you can use any exotic that you want that will fit your playstyle or fit what you're trying to do. Now, for us, we are using the Heart of Inmost Light. Now, the reason why we're using this exotic is because this is one of the best exotic for abilities. Anytime you want to spam your abilities, you can use this exotic, and it is very good for that. Let me show you what it does. Overflowing Light. Using an ability, grenade, melee, or barricade, empowers the other two abilities. Empowered means ability have faster regen, melees and grenade do more damage, and barricades have more hit points. This means you need to use your ability as soon as you have them. That way you can make the other one available for you to use. And this is why we use this exotic. Now, when it comes to the barricade, even if you don't want the barricade, even if you don't need the barricade, just use it because it will help the other abilities to regen. That's why we use it this way. Now, as far as the mods that we are using, Elemental Ordnance. Defeating a combatant with a grenade spawn elemental well that matches your subclass energy type. We want to spam our abilities. That's why we're using this mods. And grenade is very important because you're going to have a lot of those because of the build and because of what we are trying to do in the build. Now, as far as the other mods, you know, it's whatever you want to use and whatever fits what you're trying to do. Now, for our legs, we are using Font of Wisdom. This is the mod that's going to help us get our super as fast as possible. Because we're picking up all those elemental wells that matches our subclass, then this is going to help regen our super as fast as possible. Now it says, picking up an elemental well that matches your subclass energy type grants you a temporary significant increase in your intellect, improving the recharge rate of your super. Now, every time you pick up elemental wells, you're going to see on your screen it says improve ability regeneration. You're going to have 30 seconds where your super is regenerating as fast as possible. This is going to make you have your super as often as possible in any game, especially if you're creating a lot of elemental wells. Now, the reason why we use the build this way is because we want to use all our abilities. That's why we're using this exotic to synergize with what we are trying to do. We want to use our melee, we want to use our grenade, everything, our super, and everything that can make us get our super fast for the next one. And as far as the other mods, I'm using an installation. You reduce your class ability cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. And orb is very important. Not only is the orb helping you get your super on top of the elemental well. Now, and also we're using better already. That's for survivability a little bit. Your health begins to regenerate immediately after you picking up an orb of power. And then we add some discipline mod just for our grenade. In our subclass item, we are using explosive well maker as well as particle deconstruction. You already know what particle deconstruction does as far as dealing damage to bosses, etc., etc. with fusion rifle for this season. So our main thing is explosive well maker. Now this is the mods that is very important for the build. It says rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawns a solar elemental well. Remember, we are using Font of Wisdom, the one that helps us regenerate our super as fast as possible. It also tells us that we need to have elemental well that matches our subclass, and in this case it's going to be solar, and that's why this one, it says rapidly defeating combatants with explosive damage spawn a solar elemental well. Now this is why this is important. Now every time this procs, you're gonna have at least 2 elemental well, just because you are using the bountiful wells. That's the one that allows you to have more than 1 elemental well. Now remember, you can stack your other mods just to have more wells if you want that. For me personally, like I said, when you see people are making wells rain all over the place, that's because they use double copies or triple copies of whatever mods that create elemental well. For instance, if you want to use double explosive well maker, then you can put it somewhere else. But for me personally, I like to mix it up. That way I can use all my abilities and then not just one that can make explosive well maker work. That's my reasoning for doing this, for doing it this way, not multiplying multiple copies of certain mods. But you can change it the way you want to. It is your build. This is just a basic example how you can create the build to make all those elemental wells. Anyway guys, I hope this helped. If this helped you in any way, please don't forget to leave a like, comment or subscribe. I will be forever grateful. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.